Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Was Neglected and Was a Genius with Swords, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Naruto ran towards Haku, trying as hard as he could to block the Senbon needles with his scythe, but continued to fail nonetheless. He even tried to attack the mirrors, but failed as well. No matter how close he got to the mirrors, he just failed in being able to crush one of the ice things. Naruto was thrown back a few in the middle of the entire array. Sasuke was watching the entire fight, and wanted to help the Dobe so badly. Naruto, I'm coming in to save you, he yelled, rushing in to save the bum. Naruto threw a kunai towards him. Stay back, Uchiha. I'm no wimp. And if you come in to help me, then I swear to God I will turn this side on you, he threatened. Sasuke was taken back a bit, but understood what he was getting at. I ain't stopping until I beat this guy, or until he kills me. Go help Kakashi with his fight against that freak with no eyebrows. Sasuke nods, then runs off to help him, Sharingan ablaze in his eyes. You better not die on me. I don't think I can tell your girlfriend that. Besides, I want to fight you, he thought, spotting Kakashi working over Zabuza. The black sword he had was dropped onto the floor, as his arms and in fact, his entire body, were held in place by ninja dogs. Bastard, what are you gonna do? Bite my arms off, scolded the missing ninja, seeing as how he can't get out of this. Kakashi only smiled, as his left eye was looking at him, finally exposed to show a similar design like the eyes in Sasuke's head. Said Uchiha noticed this, and looked at him, eyes agapping. That assassin said that Kakashi was a copy ninja of some sort. He also said that he had the Sharingan as well. Is he part of my clan, or wearing a surgically placed eye? Exclamation mark single quote. Sasuke thought. Kakashi's next action brought him out of it. Be quiet. You know as well as I do that you can't get out of this situation. Besides, I was just about to show you my one and only original jutsu, said Kakashi, as he did some hand seals, then holds his hand towards the ground. Then lightning started to emerge into his hands, as it crackled along the ground. It's time for you to feel the Reikiri. What the hell is that? His chakra is visible, yelled Zabuza to himself mostly. He looked over to see Haku, wondering if he was having any luck. Said ninja was having much better luck. He had cornered Naruto in the middle of the mirrors, as needles sprouted on him. I guess you weren't meant to be a ninja. Too bad. Naruto started to growl, then did some hand seals. It's time for Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu, he yelled, as a bunch of copies of Naruto were around. They each went to a mirror. If I can crush every single one of those mirrors, then he won't be able to attack me anymore, he thought, as he went for a mirror himself. What happened next was unexpected. The ninja inside the mirror came out and slashed at each and every one of them, before they could even touch the mirrors. As the smoke went away, Naruto was found on the floor, trying to rise up. It doesn't matter how much of you there are. As long as I can move from one mirror to another, I gain amazing speed, enough to kill off your clones and such, Haku said, returning to another mirror. Now, I shall end your life. Naruto held his hands up to do it again, but got a bunch of sticks in his body. They were sticking out of parts of his arms and legs, numbing him and stopping his ability to feel his limbs. More stuck into his neck, then his left ankle, forcing him onto his knees. He could feel the life in him draining, as he drifted away into limbo. His vision faded from him, as he fell down a bit more, his end touching the heels of his legs. He stared at the ground, letting the final moments pass away. Haku exited the safety of the mirrors, and grabs his scythe. In honor of lasting this long, I will give you a swift death. You won't feel a thing as the steel goes through your neck. Goodbye, he said, smashing the blades off of the scythe, and breaking the staff of it in half. He then picked up one of the pieces of the blades from the scythe, then walked slowly to him, aiming to decapitate him. Time seemed to slow down as the blade went towards him. Move, move, come on, you fucking body of mine, move. I can't die in a place like this. Please, someone, anyone, let me die later. I just want to last long enough to tell her how I feel. I have to win. Hey, You suck at this. Oh well. Guess it can't be avoided. A voice in his mind spoke, as Naruto found himself in front of a large gate. He was in some sort of sewage area. The gate had a paper with the kanji for seal on it. Behind it was a pair of red eyes, and a huge set of teeth. Who the hell are you? He looked at the figure, and could feel himself afraid for some reason. I am all you need. We shall speak later, if you survive enough, that is. Naruto then could feel chakra forming around him, as his vision blurred. Wait, who are you? The demon that attacked your home the day you were born. Look it up, and you shall see the truth. And with that, Naruto became completely covered with chakra. Back with Haku, he was about to slay the demon vessel, when he grabbed the side's broken blade, and snapped it with his hands. Haku looked at him, and saw something different about him. He now had red blood eyes, tar was slitted at the pupil, his hair was now streaked with red lines, and his nails were grown to the length of claws. He also had a red chakra surrounding him, as if coming out of his pores. He rose his hand to him, trying to cut his neck off, but Haku backs off, as a cut appears on his neck, blood coming out of it. He retreated to the safety of his ice sculptures, appearing in all of them, then throws a bunch of needles toward him, which made contact, but only shot out of him, as a shockwave of chakra cracked the mirrors, as all but one of the Hakus disappeared. Naruto ran up to that mirror, and tried to crush it with his hand, but as he did destroy the mirror, Haku wasn't hit in the process. Haku jumped out of the shards, attempting to crush him, but misses as Naruto only tilted slightly. This boy is too powerful for me to hit. Where did this power come from? Why does his eyes look demonic? Haku asked himself, trying to escape, but Naruto grabbed his hand, keeping him from running. At a speed that could rival the Hiraishin, he clenched his fist, and flung it at him. Thwack! Naruto delivered a bone-shattering punch into his masked face, sending him flying, through the mirror next to him, and across the incomplete bridge, flying to the edge of it. Naruto tried to raise himself up, but only made it to his knees. His mask now had a fracture on it, as the bottom part slid off. He looked at the demon boy surrounded by the shattering mirrors of the Makyo Hyosho. They then began to melt, as Naruto locked eyes onto him. He then ran after him, attempting to finish him off, lifting himself off of the ground, about to ground him into the floor again, when the mask slid off of him, breaking into pieces, to reveal the face of a beautiful woman. His eyes were brown and had tears flowing from them, as blood was seen dripping from his nostrils and mouth. The moment he saw the face, Naruto stopped dead in his tracks, looking at his face. Wait, why do you sound like a guy if you're a girl? He asked, the demon chakra slowly going away from him. His eyes were back to blue, and his claws were still long though. Haku blinked a bit, looking at him. You aren't gonna kill me. And I am a guy. He stated, as Naruto lowered his fist. I don't need to. He stopped as he noticed the mist disappearing. He looks into the direction of Kakashi, Zabuza and Sasuke. Kakashi had his hands through the heart of the missing ninja, as he could spot out Sakura and Tazuna as well, now able to see them. Naruto, when did you get here? Yelled the cherry-blossomed hair Kunoichi. They all looked at the sun-kissed hair ninja, noticing he was around when they were fighting. Kakashi looks at him, remembering the feeling he felt from before. That foul chakra from before, so it did come from him. He thought. Zabuza fell to the ground, glancing at Haku before his life energy went away. Haku rushed immediately to his side, picking him up. Zabuza-sama, please don't die. Hey, Haku. He spoke weakly. Look, try to run away from these guys. You haven't committed murder yet. Find a new purpose in life. And with that, he closed his eyes, never to open them again. Haku could feel tears flowing from his face, then he did the most unexpected thing, he chuckled. This surprised everyone, Naruto the most. Haku flickered towards the black sword that was on the ground earlier. Naruto saw this, and his eyes widened quickly. What are you doing? The girly ninja lifted the sword up, then began to point the sword to his neck. He was just about to impale it into his throat, when a splurt of blood came from the blade, Naruto's hands holding it in place on the blade, blood dripping from his hands. He then pulled the blade out of his hands. What the fuck are you doing? Didn't that fucking idiot tell you to live a life of solitude and freedom? Haku looked at him, tears coming out of his eyes again. Zabuza was all I ever wanted to be with. He was the man who gave me a purpose in life, and didn't try to leave me to die. I want to be with him in death. Please let me die alongside him. Naruto sighs. Haku, is it? He nods. Look, to be alone in life or death is a painful thing. But what is even worse is to disrespect the wishes of the dearly departed. Haku's eyes flung open at this, and he stopped crying. I know full well how painful it is to be lonely. I've dealt with it my whole life save for up to the time I turned 9. Someone saved me from wanting to become a vicious killer, the darkness of malicious killing intent, and the world of hatred for those villages. I was on the verge of becoming the demon they so richly thought I was, and then she came in and gave me another chance at life. Maybe you can leave this life of anguish and pain and come with us to fulfill his said request. That last sentence set off Kakashi, Sasuke and Sakura, but most of all Haku. Ha, you would help out the person who tried to kill you and your friends? Haku asked. Naruto got close up to him, his ears anyway. Well, actually, I could tell you only wanted to incapacitate us so Zabuza could kill off Tazuna. You haven't killed anyone yet. Don't throw it all away. He leaned up from his ears, then is grabbed by his Jonin sensei. Naruto, are you sure you should give the enemy a chance to kill you? Yeah, yelled Sakura. I may not have done a lot of fighting, but I am sure that you would be put at risk if you were to let him live. Naruto glared at her. I don't want to speak to someone who never lifted a finger during our entire time in this village. Naruto then turned to his sensei. What do you think, sensei? Can you at least give him a chance? It is prior to a Hokage to find potential in people who can become your allies. Besides, I don't see him as an evil person, just a kid who was caught into something he didn't bargain for, and was following orders. Kakashi sighed, then smiled his eyes, letting him down and pulling the headband on his left eye. He's just like you, already finding the goodness in people, and never putting people down because of the way they initially act. Just then, an arrow shot out, shooting towards Naruto. The copy master saw this, and pushed him out of the way, taking the stick to his leg. Kakashi-sensei. Naruto then looked towards where it came from, and sees a bunch of thugs and bandits that were staring him down. One of them was a short guy, who looked dressed as a drug dealer of some sort. So, Zabuza bit the dust, huh? Good for me. Now I don't have to pay him. He said, tapping his cane. Who the fuck are you? Why the fuck did he shoot at us? Why the fuck are they here? Naruto yelled, a bit of the QB roaring through him. The man laughed. I guess you forgot who Gato was then, huh? He said, looking at Zabuza's body then at the loud brat. Oh, you must be Gato. The one who hired him to stop the bridge from being made right. Yelled Naruto. Haku got a bit angry, rising up to fight, but was still drained from the fight against Naruto. In fact, with the arrow stuck in Kakashi's leg, the only one who could fight was Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke. The Uchiha rose to his feet, but felt tired from his eyes being used too much, and they went back to normal. Damn, I'm out of chakra. What now? Naruto, still holding the sword, rises up to face the thugs, but two of them appeared from the crowd, holding Tsunami. Naruto stopped dead in his tracks, looking at them. Tsunami, yelled Tazuna, about to save her, but was stopped by the hands of Gato. You move, she dies. Now just stay like that, and I'll take your lives in place of hers. Oh, and do try to kill some, though I doubt it, because I promised some of them cash, and I would like for myself to pay them less, if not then I'll just pump more cash out of Kiri. Hey. What? Naruto yelled, holding the sword by the hilt now. Who the fuck are you to kill off these people's wages just for yourself? I'll make sure you suffer for this. Naruto could feel anger rising up in him, as the red chakra appeared around him again. This scared almost everyone, only surprising Haku and Kakashi. This fraction of a second of pausing was enough. At a speed only seen a few minutes ago, Naruto ran towards the two guards, jabbing the black sword he was holding in their throats, then grabbing said hostage and fleeting to Tazuna's side. Can you take care of this human? I have some unfinished business to fix. He said in a voice that sounded completely unlike his own. He then flashes in front of the group, delivering slash after slash of bloody murder, laughing maniacally while doing it. The others stared in horror as Naruto laid waste to the entire army of thugs and bandits. Haku was amazed by the power, Sasuke was jealous as to how he could fight so viciously, Sakura was scared by the way he fought, Ike enjoyed it, and Kakashi was a bit frightened by something he was thinking. I don't think Naruto is in control this time. He would never enjoy the murdering of those people, regardless of how much they wish to kill us. Is Kyuubi fighting them in his place? Tazuna looked at Tsunami, as she hugged her father closely. Tusan, I'm sorry I almost worried you like that. She said. Tsunami, what happened? He asked, paying attention to the slaughter before them. She squinted her eyes a bit. Naruto-kun just left to meet up with you guys, then those woe came up and captured me. They almost tried to kill Inari, but I was able to convince them not to. And you probably know the rest. Naruto had finished off the last of them, seeing the object of his main maiming running away. He flickers in front of Gato, then slashes his chest. The very short but very evil little man fell to his knees, spitting up blood. Please, you don't have to do this. Ah, he felt another slash to his chest. Naruto just looked at him, grinning like a psychomaniac. Please wait, I can give you money. You don't know how much these people have if you, Guar. His words were shot out again by a third slash. Gato looked down over the edge, and his sight, life and feeling of anything goes away when the sword sprouts from his face. Naruto kicked him off of his blade, then pushes him into the water. You cannot buy off a real demon. I doubt your body would be enough to feed the fishes. Naruto said in an evil laugh, but it died out as quickly. The red chakra went away, as did the Ki, and Naruto plopped onto the floor, a bit confused as what happened just now. Hey, what happened? 2 days later, the team consisting of Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi, and now Haku, were on their way to Konoha, be you not before a final farewell. Tsunami, Tazuna, and Inari all looked at him, giving them byes and waves. As they went to leave, Naruto was held back by a couple of arms. Naruto, thank you for all you've done, said Tazuna. Naruto-kun, have a good life, said Tsunami. Naruto, arigato. When I grow up, I'll be even better than you, and I won't be afraid anymore. No more crying for me, said Inari proudly, giving him the thumbs up. Naruto smiled, then left with his team. Tsunami looked at her father. Tusan, what will you name the bridge? The Dai Naruto Bridge, he stated proudly. It was a calm day through the road connecting Konoha and Kiri, as Naruto, Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and their new member Haku walked over towards the Hidden Leaf Village. Haku was walking alongside the white-haired ninja, staring down the black sword he claimed for himself. You sure you wish to let me have this? Naruto asked. Haku nodded. You used it so well last time, and I can't use something so dark. He goes in towards his face. Besides, I don't trust that Uchiha, or any of the others, besides you. A few miles later and they finally made it back to their hometown. Naruto was very happy to be back for a minute. Yeah, we're back. I can't wait to eat at Ichiraka's again. Sakura stared at him, and whispered something in his ear. Are you sure you're not glad to be with your girlfriend again? Naruto blushed at the words, and gave her the silent treatment. Sasuke grinned. I guess that's a yes. Haku was a bit confused as to why they were teasing Naruto. Kakashi just kept walking and smiled. As they passed the gate, they went to report to the Sandaime. Entering his office, the receptionist glared evilly at Naruto. This didn't go unnoticed by Haku, but decided to figure it out later. As they went inside the room, Sarutobi looked at them. Oh Kakashi, you made it back. He eyed Haku interestingly. And who may this be? Hokage-sama, this here is Haku, former apprentice of Zabuza. You see, they were hired by Gato to try and kill the bridge builder because it would ruin his smuggling. Naruto was able to kill off said drug lord, and the rest of his bandits, as I took out Zabuza. He said, looking down at him. Naruto convinced Haku to come along, and here we are. The Sandaime sighed. Alright, he may stay with him. But he has to partake in the Chunin exams in your group, and might I speak to you with the others gone? Kakashi nodded, with Haku nodded as well. They all left and went their separate ways. Sasuke walked into the forest, hoping to think of something he noticed back there. Naruto had a chakra coming out of him back when he fought Haku. I don't know what it was, but it didn't seem human. Sakura followed him, hoping to get a date out of him. Kakashi went to buy another Ika paradise. Naruto led Haku to where he would stay for now on. So, how is this place for you? You think they'll let me stay? Just show to them that you can work for them, and then they might accept you. I just hope Tenten does, he said as they approached the door. But the minute Naruto reached out his keys for the hole, the door flung open, as a girl about his age jumped out and glommed him tightly. Naruto, it's good to see you again. Ha! She moves off of him to see that he is unconscious, mouth opened and eyes dilated. Haku walks to him, and then poked him. I think you killed him. He then looks up at her, examining her closely. Who are you and how do you know Naruto-san? Are you his sister, or girlfriend? Tenten blushed as bright as Satan when he ate red-hot peppers. You are well, we aren't a couple. Besides, I'm not sure if he feels that way. Haku then thought back to what Naruto said about him wanting to live to see someone, then smiled. So, it's undecided. Would you love him even if he said no? Thoughts swelled up inside him. She must be the one he wanted to live to see. She lost her blush, and looked at him. Then she turned to the ice ninja. Yes, I will. I love him, more than my own life. I wouldn't want anything more than to be with Naru-kun, even if he possesses a demon. Haku thought she was speaking hypothetically, and that she was referring to the extent of their love. She then thought of something. Hey wait, who are you? You aren't a girl trying to steal him from me, are you? She held up a katana in Haku's face and thrust it forward. Clang. Black steel was blocking the silver blade from reaching his face. Holding the weapon was revealed to be Naruto, who was now awake. Tenten was blushing a bit, thinking about what she had thought about before, but this situation brought something to mind, as her face flushed with anger and jealousy. Oh my god, you love this slut, don't you? Naruto pushed back her sword. Before you get any other ideas, Haku is a guy. Look closer at him and you can tell. Tenten looks closer at Haku, then gasps, blushing atg the fact that a guy was even prettier than she was. Oh wow. You must have all the girls after you. Naruto-kun, you okay? Naruto turns to her, smiling greatly. I'm okay now, since the girl I love is beside me. She regained the same blush as before, and dropped the blade. She then held her heart as she moved towards him. You love me. I'm just as surprised that you love me, even though you know about him. He points to his stomach. She took his hand and removed it, placing it on her cheek. Naru-kun, I will always love you, no matter what you do, where you go, or what people think of you. I will be with you, even if you have the nine-tailed fox inside you. Their faces were inches away from each other. They entered a gaze that could not be broken by anything surrounding them. Naruto broke it, and kissed her lips. She closed her eyes as they continued to lock lips. After stopping for air, Tenten slipped in her tongue, as Naruto did as well, and they continued for a while, leaving a silent Haku to smile over their happiness, but wonder what they meant by demon. Wait, if Naruto really does have a demon in him, then does that mean that that power from before was from him? It all makes sense. But I should ask later, so for now. Haku left his train of thought and tapped Naruto's shoulder, stopping their feast of tongue. Not to be so perverted, but you think you can take me home? I'm sure you can continue there. They both blushed at forgetting about him, and they took him home. There he was introduced to Tenten's father and mother, who sort of accepted him, and let him in. 2 weeks later, the Chunin exam started. Naruto, Sasuke, Haku, and Sakura all entered the exam as a whole team. On their way to the main room for testing, they met up with Tenten's team. A guy with big brows was getting pushed around by some guy. There was also a dude with long hair and white eyes. Tenten was there too, but didn't notice them. The guy was about to strike Big Brows again, when Sasuke intervened and stopped them. Sasuke looks at him, striking his normal pose. How about picking on someone your own skill? No one around here fits that category, said one of the Chunin. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Uchiha, we don't have time for this. Sasuke looked back at him. You and Sakura go ahead, I'll wipe the floor with this chump. Sasuke, don't do it. They were about to strike again, when Naruto appeared right in front of them, grabbing their legs. Sasuke, we don't have time for this. Let's go. Sasuke felt a bit discouraged that he could block him so easily. The dope is getting stronger, was all he could think before a bun-haired girl jumped onto him, choking him. She then plants a kiss onto his cheek. Naru-kun, it's great to see you again. The white-eyed guy stepped towards the two. You two, who are you? Naruto looks upon him with interest. I am Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke smirks. Uchiha Sasuke. Neji smirks even brightly. Hyuga Neji. I hope to fight you later on, both of you. Neji smirked as he left. Naruto had a determined look on his face, when Tenten pulled him closer. Please be careful. Neji is very strong. She gave one kiss before she let him go as her team went for upstairs. The rest of Team 7, except Haku, looked at Naruto in awe. Sakura stared at him. How the hell does a girl like her like the worst example of a freak? Naruto flinched at her comment and continued upstairs. Sasuke turned to her. You should be ashamed of yourself. How can you talk about his love life when yours suck more than anteaters on crack? Sakura gasped at what he said. What does that mean, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke walked up the stairs, saying something that shocked her to her very soul. You make me sick. She stayed quiet the whole time as they walked up the stairs into a room full of genin from not only Konoha, but the Mist and Sand village as well. One of them has a wrapped up thing on his back. He was standing next to a girl with a board on her back and a guy with raccoon-like eyes and a gourd on his back. As Naruto entered the room, as well as Haku, Sasuke, and Sakura, the gourd guy stared closely at Naruto, Sasuke and Haku. Most of the guys there were in love with Haku. The girl turns to him. What's wrong, Gaara? Asked the female. Gaara turned towards her. Those three are the strongest ones here, after me. The other one next to him looked at Team 7. Who? You mean the cute girl and the two guys? I don't believe you. Gaara glared at him evilly, but the girl got in the middle of both of them. Kankuro, go check him out. She asked, curious as to how someone piqued Gaara's interest. Why can't you? Oh fine, I'll do it, Temari. Kankuro goes to check them, and sees Haku's beauty up close. What a lovely face. How would you like to go out sometime? Haku smiles, then grows a mischievous grin. That's very nice of you, but I'm a guy. The whole room was taken back after he spoke those words, then stared at him closely. What? Yeah. See. Haku said, as he dropped his pants to reveal his boxes. All the guys were flying back in disgust towards themselves and him while some girls were staring at it. Naruto and Sasuke and pretty much anyone serious didn't look at him and turned away. Just as he was zipping up his pants, someone came before them. He had glasses, silver hair like Kakashi and the Konoha headband on. You people are very loud, you know. Who the hell are you? Asked Sasuke, eyeing him closely. Mr. Jin looked at the Uchiha, then at Naruto and Haku. You can call me Kabuto, that's all. I just came by to check out this year's rookies. Let me guess, you've failed this thing a couple of times. Asked Sakura, searching across the room. 7th time now. But throughout all the number of times I've failed, I've gained a lot of info on a lot of people. I even got some stuff on you guys. Kabuto stated. This guy must know stuff on even him, thought Sasuke, while trying to get Sakura off of him. Let's put your knowledge to the test, tell me everything you know on Haku, said Sasuke just like that, gaining a lot of looks at him from the people surrounding him. Kabuto pushed his specs to his face, then pulled out a card showing the Ice Master himself. Haku looked at his card, and was quite curious as to how he found this out. Haku. He has no surname, nor a family. He was born with the looks of a lovely girl, but is a boy nonetheless. I assume he gets called a girl a lot. Kabuto states, as he stares at said boy. Haku only, HMMP, then sat his back on a wall. Urusai. I don't need people knowing about my life. Moody. Anyway, he is said to be the last surviving member of his deceased clan, a clan of people that are skilled in the use of Hyoten. It is said to be a powerful bloodline that enhances the speed of the person, and power over wind and water chakra, creating ice. It is said that Zabuza found and took care of him the rest of after he was left to die, thought and said Kabuto. I don't know why you're here though. Me and Zabuza Zabuza were both hired by a fool named Gato to face off against Naruto and his team Cell when they were on a mission. Continued Haku, gaining the attention of everyone. I won't say any more, so you can go gather info about that. Haku then left, dragging his team with him. Naruto felt a bit worried about him. So that's what he meant. He really is like me. Just then, 5 ninjas flashed into the room, with one standing out the most. He had a blue version of the special Jonin clothing, with a bandana over his skull. Alright you maggots, you can call me Morino Abiki, but for now I am your worst nightmare. It's time for the exams. Part 1, the written test, begins. Written. Damn, I suck at this sort of stuff, complained Naruto. After doing the test, which Tenten cheated on to help Naruto with, they went to the field, being escorted by a very loud Chunin named Mitarashi Anko. Alright you geeks, time for you to enter the forest of death. I will give you one, and only one warning. You enter here, you are liable to die. Naruto smirked and taunted her words. So, when we became genin we accepted that risk. How will this be any different? Anko looked back at him. Don't be so confident. She threw a kunai at him, in which he dodged like it was nothing. He then pulls out his black nodaki and pointed behind him. I would like to fight you, but this isn't a good time, as we got a test now. The blade pointed at her neck. She moved it aside and walked past him. You got spunk. I like that. Now, go to the booths and receive a scroll. You will spend a total of 5 days maximum there looking for the other's scroll. You have to get to the tower by the time limit with both an earth and a heaven scroll to pass. All that said, go at it. Anko said, heading for the front of the gate. After receiving a scroll, Naruto and the rest of team waited next to the gate, waiting for the call. Tenten came by, and pulled him away for a sec. They stood next to a tree. Naru-kun, she began, but Naruto kissed her to stop her speech. Ten-chan, you don't have to worry about me. If I'm gonna become Hokage, I'm gonna need to go through hard stuff like this. He said, giving her a rare fox grin. She looked at his, tears about to flood in. Naru-kun, do me one favor, promise you'll return to me, safely. He stared into her chocolate eyes for a sec. Don't worry, I'll return to you. He gave her one last kiss on the lips before they departed to their teams. Sakura looked at him. You told your girlfriend to be careful. Naruto just glared at her in the same way Sasuke did earlier. What's it to you? Why do you care about my life? Sakura turned away. Well, a whistle could be heard, signaling the start of the exams. The gates flew open, and stopping her speech. As it whistled out, every team ran straight in. After a few hours of jumping, Team 7 found themselves next to a tree, in a pitch of darkness. This is stupid. Where are we gonna find an earth scroll? Complained Naruto, drawing on the ground in boredom. Sasuke searched the area with his Sharingan, but didn't find anything. I don't know. Maybe we should split up and go look for weak teams. He said in defeat. Sakura only sighed, thinking that they're smart enough to think of such an easy thing, but didn't agree along with the others. Pointless. Let's just put ourselves in danger and ambush them. As the two of them just nodded, Haku was just squinting his legs together, holding his crotch. Anyone gotta go to the bathroom? They all looked back at him, and agreed. They each went to separate ways to piss. Naruto was about done, when someone comes before him. He holds a knife to his face. You will take me to your friends. I have something to say. Since he could easily split him in two later on, Naruto just went with it and took him to the spot and waited for everyone to return, which they do. Sasuke was the first to notice he was captured. Hey idiot, you got caught already. Naruto only scoffed at him. As if he just has something to tell us. The ninja smirked evilly. More like you. One of your friends has been kidnapped, and is being impersonated by my friend. And if you want to save their life, you must either choose who they are and kill them, or hand over your scroll. So, that's all there is. I want you to choose who is the fake. The nameless ninja said, removing the knife from Naruto's neck. He looks over his friends, and is unable to tell who from who. Of course he doesn't know a damn thing about them, but if he doesn't do anything, the real person might die. First a question for each. Haku, when did we meet? He asked the long-haired male ninja. Haku sighed. We met on the Dai Naruto Hashi back in Kuni no Nami. He said, answering the question perfectly. Good. He then turns to Sakura. He probably has a technique that can absorb memories and thoughts from a person. This should flush them out. Sakura, tell me your brass eyes. He said, causing the cherry blossom to turn black. She raised her fist to punch him, but ducked out of the way from the blow. Baka Yaro. I'm not telling you something you don't know. Kuso. Never mind. Naruto said, turning towards the final person. You know, I think I've found something to blackmail you with. I doubt Tenten would like to know this. Haku said, causing Naruto to cringe. You wouldn't dare tell her. He yelled back. If you do then I'll. Who's Tenten? Asked Sasuke. Naruto, Sakura, and Haku turned towards the Uchiha. What? I'm just asking. You don't know. Naruto said, then smiled. Of course not. After all, you don't know that Tenten is my girlfriend, or that she was all I've been talking about during our mission in Wave. Sasuke's face began to falter. You are the fake. That's when Naruto took action, and slashed at the imposter with his black sword, cutting a line down his chest. The Sasuke before them turned into another grass ninja like the one before them. Naruto turns toward the other sound ninja. You. Tell us where the real Sasuke is. Haku pulled out Senbon, and Sakura got into a taijutsu stance. The ninja smirked, then ran off. Marty. Naruto yelled, running after him. He chased him into the woods of the forest. The ninja did a hand sign, and vines came out from around him to constrict Naruto. Kasama. Too bad. Our leader should be done with him soon. The ninja said, doing another hand seal. Doten. Dahabi Uden no Jutsu. He yelled, as out from the earth a muddy snake attacked Naruto. Damn. Gotta cut it down. Naruto complained, holding his sword above his head. If he could procure enough chakra into his hands he could get enough strength to try and chop it. But for some reason when he summoned enough power for some reason it made him a bit feral and the chakra transferred to his sword. Because of this, when he slashed down at the snake, all the chakra released from the edge of his blade, becoming a black and red shockwave of power that destroyed the snake. No way, the ninja said, as the shockwave still came to him. He was engulfed by the blade's power, as pieces from his body were left from the attack. Whoa, I just killed 2 people. He said to himself, not at all shocked by the new move he just created, and instead disturbed with how he just killed 2 people. For some reason, I don't feel as bad as I thought. He sheathed his sword and went to find the others. What he saw wasn't a great sight. A pale girl was holding Haku's neck in her left hand. She was dressed as one of those grass ninjas, and part of her face was peeled back a bit. He checked her surroundings, and saw Sakura lying away from her by a tree, vibrating in fear. Sasuke was with them somehow, lying on the ground. Looking closer he could see a black mark on his neck, like a seal. So, this is all the power of the Hyoten. You lack precision. Train harder, and maybe you might become my vessel. The grass bitch said sneering evilly. Haku just spat blood on her face, then got thrown to the dirty earth. Naruto took this time to jump into battle, bits of demon chakra leaking from his body. This was evident from his red-slitted eyes and sharper teeth and nails. Or, the QB bastard, she said, turning her full attention to Naruto. She just held her hand forward, as dark smoke of some sort swirled around her palm. Ankoku Azu no Jutsu. For some reason it pulled Naruto closer without him trying to move forward. Once Naruto was in range her tongue stretched out of her mouth and wrapped around him, binding him to the ground. Naruto. Sakura yelled, but couldn't summon up the courage to move. She cursed herself for her weakness, wondering how they both can handle such killer intent while she couldn't even breath. Haku took a look at him, then passed out from fatigue and pain. Her palm stopped swirling darkness, and glowed with a flame on each finger. Just one more thing I need to do. After all you're just a nuisance now, but you and its chakra will become one. I'm gonna make sure it never happens, she said, as Naruto tried to break free. He is unable to, and begins to worry when the end lifts his shirt up to reveal the seal. Gogyo Fuan, she yells, slamming her fingers into Naruto's now revealed stomach. As he screamed in agonizing pain, marks appeared over top the seal on his stomach, as 5 marks joined it. His demon eyes have reverted to normal blue as his nails and teeth become normal. Naruto passes out for some reason. There we go. Now stay out of my way like a good fox. The lady then turned towards Sakura, who shivered in pure terror while her voice changed to a man's voice. He threw Naruto to her, who caught him. My name is Orochimaru. Now, if you wish to live, you shall keep quiet about everything you saw before you. Now, you will take this thing, and leave now. The Okama gave her a green scroll, then dissolved into mud. Sakura finally got over the killer intent, and took Naruto's blade, sheathing it and putting it around her. I'm sorry guys. I was completely useless, she said, tears coming out of her eyes slowly. She slowly dragged Sasuke and Haku towards a nearby spot, placing them there to lie until they wake up. She then returns for Naruto, placing him beside the others, and putting his sword next to him. How can I expect to be a ninja, when I can't even fight like them? She cried to herself. The next morning. Not much has changed since last night. Haku, Sasuke, and Naruto were still out of it. Sakura was waking up, holding a kunai with both hands. I won't let anyone get near the others, she said, turning around to keep watch. It took an hour for someone to wake up, this person being Haku. She looks around to see what happened, and notices Sakura sitting before her, Naruto and Sasuke. Sakura, what happened? Sakura turned around and saw Haku up. Oh, Haku, I'm sorry you got hurt. She apologized. Don't apologize to me. I just fought to defend a fellow shinobi. Naruto would do the same, maybe Sasuke, I don't know. He said, rising up and trying to ignore the pain in his sides. What happened after I passed out? That woman turned out to be a man. He then put a seal on Naruto, and he passed out. He then told me to keep this all quiet, and gave up a scroll so we could pass on. Afterwards I brought you all here. She said, picking up Naruto and placing him on her shoulder. Haku put up with her injuries and carried Sasuke. I don't care what he threatened. We tell the Hokage the minute we get to that tower. He said, pointing towards the tower in front of them. The two of them ran off towards the tower, hoping to make sure nothing happens to them on the way. 1 hour later. Where am I? Naruto asked. He looked upwards and only saw a ceiling. Turning around he saw his friend Haku sitting by his side. Oh, Haku, you're okay. What happened to that ugly bitch? According to Sakura, he left. Sasuke woke up an hour before we got into the tower, and is exploring the place. Sakura is informing someone about what happened. Oh, and Tenten's here with her team. He explained, pointing towards the door beside them. Naruto rose to his feet, checking himself for anything wrong. He sees nothing, then grabs his sword and walks out. With him gone, Haku goes to sleep, getting the rest he needs to heal. The minute Naruto steps out, he is hugged by a pair of arms. Looking down, he sees the pinkish face of his lovely girlfriend. Sure, Tenten looks a bit battered, but he doesn't care. Are you okay? Tenten makes a mad face. You're asking me if I'm okay. You were just in there still suffering from some kinda attack. I would have been there to see you, but I had to go to the bathroom. She said, hugging him tighter. Know that I don't ever want you to do something so stupid again. She said, as Naruto looked down at her. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? He asked, and she could only look up at him and smile. She then planted a kiss on his lips. Who couldn't forgive such angelic eyes? She says, leaning on his chest. He pushed himself back onto a wall. Let me remind you that you're the only angel here. He said, content with her and him together. Their time alone was interrupted when Lee and Neji came towards them. Oh, hey Tenten-chan. Naruto-kun. Lee yelled, as Tenten moved her head up to him. Neji just sighed from watching, not at all moved by such a scene. Naruto smiled at them. Hey Lee, when does the next part begin? He asked, looking around for anyone else. Oh, not sure. We gotta wait till the 3 days are over. Tenten said, then turned to Lee and Neji. Now if you two don't mind, we'll be having a make-out session. She said to Neji and Lee, kissing Naruto on the lips. 3 days later. Alright, I would like to congratulate each of you for making it this far in the exams. The Hokage yelled. He was standing inside a large gymnasium, standing before the 7 surviving teams that made it, 5 from Konoha, 1 from Suna, and 1 from Oto. Behind him were the Jonin senseis for each team. All 22 ninjas stood at attention for the Hokage. But, I'm afraid we have to have a preliminary. At the sound of this, all the genin gasped. But, why? Haven't we suffered through enough? Ino asked, not understanding why this has to pass. Sandaime just smoked his pipe. It's simple, there are just too many applicates. For the exam finals we have to at least cut the number 22 into half. Which is why Anko-san has fixed up this hefty device. Anko points to the black screen now coming before them. This will be choosing one of you to fight against another ninja. Whether it be an enemy, or someone from your own team, you'll have to fight against them. Anko explained, pointing towards the screen. But before we begin, does anyone wish to quit or anything? I do. Someone says. Everyone looks to see a guy with glasses and silver hair. Nodding, he leaves the room. The others look at him, wondering what was that about. Anyone else? No. Good. Let the lottery drawings begins. Anko resumed. As the screen begins to blur, it stops until it soon shows 2 names, Uchiha Sasuke and Okado Yoroi. Sasuke smirks, as does the other guy. Now that 2 people are picked, time to begin. Everyone whose name isn't up there go to the side. Anko said, as all the Jonin and the Hokage flash up to the top. The genin all begin to walk up the stairs as well, save Yoroi and Sasuke. Begin. Yoroi rushed forward at Sasuke with his right hand raised at him. As he rushed towards him, he had chakra infused within it, swiping at the Uchiha with it. Sasuke continued to dodge the strikes made towards him, still handicapped with the curse seal tattooed on his neck. Kuso. Using the Sharingan will only try to kill me, and my jutsus will only add more to the pain. He thought, making exaggerated attempts to dodge his moves, fearing what his hand might do to him. That's when he remembered something he did before the exams. Sasuke disappeared before Yoroi, who lost track of him almost immediately. It was in a split second that Sasuke kicked the man upwards into the air. He appeared under the masked ninja. Ready for a pounding. Shashi Renden. Lion's combo, he said smugly. Sasuke then landed consecutive kicks to Yoroi back and sides, ending with a smashing axe kick to his chest. The blow not only cracked his ribs, but knocked him out, deciding the match. As Yoroi laid on the floor, the life inside of him draining away, Sasuke rose to his feet and walked to the proctor. Winner. Uchiha Sasuke. As Hayate Geku spoke, Kakashi jumped down to the stage and took Sasuke, who was just about to pass out from exhaustion. Here we go, he whispered, teleporting to another location. Sakura could only watch as they left, then saw paramedics take away Yoroi. The next fight came up, as Haku and Asuchi Kin were present on the screen. Time to fight. Kin spoke, turning towards Haku. The ice user turned towards her, then the two of them jumped down, appearing before one another for battle. Geku held his hand up and stepped back. Begin. The two began the fight, throwing senbon at one another. Each strike either missed and struck the ground or wall, or collided with each other and cancelled out. Everyone watched as the two soon stopped throwing needles, and Kin was breathing hard. Your skills will not get you so far. You've done well to survive so far, but now it ends. Haku draws forth a kunai, and rushed towards the girl. But just as he was approaching her, he hears a noise from behind. A trap. He turns around to see what it was, only to see a needle on one of the senbons stuck on the wall with a bell. It was making the noise. She tricked me. Kin took this opportunity to strike. She threw a shitload of shuriken, kunai, and senbon at Haku. Being distracted, he could not have seen it coming, and suffered a bloody assault. The ice user falls to the ground in his own blood. Haku. Naruto yelled from above, looking down as his new friend was being outsmarted by a girl. Tenten looked in shock as well, hoping he didn't get too hurt. Kin pulled out one last kunai. Barker. I unknowingly attached a bell on one of them and made that particular one go for the wall instead of you. It was all to distract you. She stated. She then rushed forward with her weapon in hand, ready to end his life. Haku rose to his feet, blood still dripping from his wounds. Pulling out a senbon, he engaged Kin and had her blocked. His strength had her using both arms to push back, which weren't really helping. And that was when he did hand seals with one hand and stomped onto the ground. Hyoten. Sensatsu Sushu. Ice release. 1,000 flying water spikes of death. The blood on the floor rose into the air, then hardened into the form of sharp needles. Goodbye. The needles struck at him, with Haku dodging at the last minute. They impaled Kin's entire body, from her legs to her neck. An instant kill, one may say, when the bloody needles turned into regular blood and Kin fell to the ground spilling more blood. But, how? She spat out. My bloodline allows me to use water and make it into ice needles. They impale whatever I wish. He explained, walking away. But, it isn't water. Kin passed out, dying maybe. Obviously 70% of the human body is water. It's no surprise that blood will be just like water. Haku stated, looking over his hands which were covered in blood. He then flashed up to the stands after announced winner. Whoa, I didn't know you could do that. Naruto said, then smiled. Damn, if I would have fought against you I would have been screwed. He chuckled nervously. Maybe, Haku said, retreating to the wall. Tenten looked at him slowly. Soon the screen changed again, as two names came up again, Amon Tenten vs. Haruno Sakura. Both girls sighed depressingly, then headed downstairs. I hope Tenten doesn't go too hard on her. I mean, yeah, she's been a bitch to me, but still. Naruto thought. Both girls stared straight at each other, wielding a serious look. Sakura had risen her hands up into a taijutsu style while Tenten took out one of her scrolls. I was hoping to fight you one day. Sakura said. I do as well. It's time you paid for the way you treated Naruto-kun all those times. After all, me and Ayami are the only girls who can treat him that way. Tenten unsealed a wooden staff, and swung it around expertly. Is that what it's like to have a boyfriend? Sakura snarled back, looking at Geku to start the fight. Begin. As those words were spoken, Sakura charged straight in. Tenten jabbed her staff straight forward to her skull, but Sakura ducked in time and gave a right uppercut to her stomach. The bushy ninja was thrown back a bit, her feet sliding backwards along with her as a little blood came out. Your punch is flabby as hell. Tenten then walked forward, coming back up to Sakura, and threw her bow elsewhere. I don't even need this to fight you. Try this. She gave a right hook to the cherry blossom's cheek, knocking her off balance a bit, blood shooting out her mouth. But Sakura quickly regained her balance. You talk shit about my punches, when yours can't even knock out a lizard. No wonder Naruto chose a weak girl like you. You could never hurt him every time he does something stupid. She taunted, both staring dead in each other's eyes. Tenten almost gave off the impression of a demon the moment she said those words. I would talk more nicely about my darling if I were you, especially if your punches are just pirapira punches. Well, you got Norakura pants. There was an awkward silence. Pants. Tenten looked at Sakura with a look of disappointment. Sakura was gaping at her mistake. Then the fighting got heavy. That's not a damn punch. Tenten and Sakura began exchanging strong blows at one another, each slamming into their faces. Fuck you, a cup. Sakura yelled back, as the blows just kept going. Each punch let loose blood out from their faces. You slutty pair of waterballons. Tenten screamed, landing one last punch which knocked Sakura to the ground. She then jumped down onto her, pulling on her cheek and clothes. Sakura did just the same, as their clothes began to rip a bit. Back in the stands, the males, well, all but Gaara, the Sasuke, Naruto, Haku, Shino, and Shikamaru, all cheered on for a cat fight. What the hell? Haku said, watching them go. Why are they fighting so recklessly? Naruto asked, looking at Tenten. He soon got a nosebleed when Tenten's shirt ripped off, exposing her brata all around, and passed out. Haku looked sad, until Tenten landed the final punch, smashing Sakura's skull into the ground, cracking the floor up considerably. Geku blinked and sweat dropped down his face. Okay, winner, Amon Tenten, he declared, as Tenten raised her fists high in the air victoriously. I'm the champ. Ha! She imitated a crowd cheering for her at the last part. She then picked up her weapons and walked up to the stands. Haku turned away so as not to stare, and Naruto finally woke up, only to bleed some more when Tenten came before him with her half-exposed breasts out. Ten-chan, a shirt maybe? Naruto said, pointing to her chest. She blushed and covered herself with her arms. Here, use mine. He takes his blue jumpsuit jacket off and hands it to her, as she puts it on. Thank you, she said, then blushed as she smelled him through it. So, what was with all that pounding? Normally you would stab, he said, half-jokingly. She only sighed. I really hate her. What she did to you was unforgivable, she said, looking down at Sakura as she was carried away on a stretcher. On the board above it started to flash around, until two names came up, Inuzuka Kiba and Uzumaki Naruto. Hey, guess I get to show my stuff a bit too soon, he said, leaping into the air and jumping down onto the earth below, as the impact shook throughout his body. Atai! He yelled, holding his feet in pain. Kiba had used the stairs, with Akamaru following along. Barker, don't think you can hold up against me like that. Even a sword won't help you against me, the dog fighter said, holding his arms onto his waist. Naruto finally recovered. Urusai, I don't need to take advice from someone who uses his tongue for toilet paper, he taunted, as his left hand gripped onto the hilt of his sword planted on his right waist. What? I'll have you know that dogs' mouths are very clean, he stated, as Akamaru barked along with him. Oh really, Tenten? He called back to the stands. Can I lick my butt and kiss you? She laughs and shakes her head no. He then turns towards Kiba. See? Kiba began to fume. Making fun of me, huh? He growled, looking at Geku. Oh yeah. Begin. He called. Here I go. Shikyaku no Jutsu. All fours technique. Kiba begins to crawl on all four limbs, as his face gains animalistic qualities. His teeth and nails grow longer and his eyes resemble an animal's. He lunges at Naruto. Guess that states it. Naruto grips his sword tight, and draws out his blade. He then swings it in the air and points it at the approaching Kiba. Wait a minute. I don't want to kill him. Just humiliate him, he thought, then jumped into the air above him. He descended down to Kiba with his sword held upward. That won't work. He lifted his hands up to grab the blade. His attempt succeeded, as Naruto was now being held in place. Well, so much for that. Akamaru leaped over Kiba's back and bit Naruto's face, well, his cranium anyway. As blood trickled down his face, Naruto had received an additional kick to his gut from the dog boy, sending him flying backwards. He slid across the ground and stopped at the wall. Stupid dog, you're making me look bad, Naruto said, then ripped him off his head, tossing him over to Kiba. Don't like dogs, huh? Then you won't like this, Jinju Bunshin, man-beast body double. Akamaru jumped onto his back and transformed into another Kiba. He then jumped off of him and they both rushed at Naruto, initiating a jutsu on the way. Jinju Taijutsu Ugi, Gatsuga, man-beast combat technique, ultimate technique, Fang piercing Fang. They span together and formed a large tornado that spun towards him. You know what I'm talking about. Naruto just stared in shock. Oh shit, he cursed, as he struck one whirlwind with his blade to block it. But then the second one came by and slashed him up, bringing up smoke clouds. Up in the stands, Tenten was in shock, fearing the worst for her boyfriend. As the smoke came up, it revealed Naruto on the ground facing down and Kibas were walking away from him. It's over, Proctor. I've won. But as Geku was about to call the match, Naruto's body began to move. With his shirt torn to pieces, people could see all the scars on his body. He made his way onto his feet slowly, using his sword as a balance to keep him up. Kiba 1 and 2 looked back and their eyes widened in shock as he was moving. But how? One of them asked, as Naruto finally made it to his feet. Kiba looked up at the stands and saw Tenten looking down at him in fear, and he smirked. I see. It's all for her. You won't be much of a boyfriend if you lost to me, right? Well, don't bother, you can hardly stand up. You got a point. I wouldn't be much of one if I'm weak, Naruto said, as he sheathed his sword. He then made a cross seal. But not only that, I wouldn't make much of a Hokage if I lost every fight I partake in. Tenten finally lost her tenseness and smiled, seeing what he was about to do. This won't last long. He's bluffing, Kankuro said, leaning onto a wall to fall asleep. Temari didn't care and Gaara only stared. A Hokage? What kind of Hokage can't even beat a Genin? Kiba taunted, as he was about to make another Gatsuga. Tell you what, I'll become a better Hokage in your place. That did it. Naruto was mad. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. 2 puffs of smoke appeared on both his sides. Both were revealed to be Naruto clones. Henge. Those same clones transformed, turning into black swords similar to the originals. He placed his own in his mouth and picked up the 2 swords with both hands. Oh come on. You're not gonna make a fool out of yourself, right? Kiba asked, as the 2 dogs initiated Gatsuga and charged after Naruto. Naruto fixed himself into a stance. His left black sword was above his head and pointing diagonally downwards right. His right hand was crossing his chest with the blade itself above, completely horizontally facing right. The sword in his hand faced left as his head was facing the Gatsugas. Think of Zoro from One Piece when he does Hyakuhachi Poundu How, that's 108-pound cannon. Taste this dog breath, Getsuga Tenshu, Hao Ryu, moon fang that pierces the heavens, Phoenix style. Naruto slashed at Kiba and Akamaru with all 3 blades, releasing an even larger shockwave than before when he fought that fake grass ninja. It resembled a large spiral with 3 waves connected together. The minute it struck the Gatsuga, it reverted back into Kiba 1 and 2, leaving him at the mercy of the jutsu. The 2 Kibas suffered severely, as the attack destroyed their shirts and scarred their bodies, as one puffed into smoke that the other spat up a lot of blood. The audience watched in shock as Naruto unleashed a move they've never seen him come up with in his life. The sand ninjas all gaped in amazement, except Gaara, who just widened his eyes. The remaining sound ninjas had dropped jaws, except the mummy, who was wrapped up. The Konoha ninjas had their own thoughts. Alright, Naru-kun, Tenten exclaimed in her mind. Good thing I didn't fight him. Shikamaru thought. That was impressive. Shino made his thought. Wahoo! Lee and Guy shouted in their mind. Hinata was still thinking of Naruto with Tenten, and how to stop it, and too into it to watch the fight. Guess I can't call him loser anymore. This came from Ino. Super. Asuma and Kurenai thought. When did he make that up? It can probably surpass my Chidori. Kakashi imagined when he could have made it. What a wonderful black and red color. Gekko fantasied learning that move. The Gaki is more impressive than I thought. Anko kept her opinion quiet. I wonder if my Kaiten can block that. Neji thought. That must take a lot of energy. Chuji figured. Even without the seal on him, he possesses much potential. The sound Jonan smirked. That looked to be an A-rank move. It has the same power force as Yondaim's Rasengan. The Hokage thought. I'm hungry. Haku patted his stomach. Winner. Uzumaki Naruto. Gekko announced. Naruto sheathed his original sword into its sheath, as medics came to take Kiba away and he walked up to Tenten. That was so hard to do. Better stick with the original. Naruto whispered to himself, as Tenten gave him a congrate's kiss. And the rest of the fights went by fairly. Neji faced Hinata and almost killed her. Chuji lost to the Sand Ninja Kankuro. Zaku was beaten easily by Shikamaru, with Shino winning by Ino forfeiting. Gaara paralyzed Lee and Temari flattened the other Leaf Ninja from Kabuto's team. Dosu won a free one. And so with everything said and done, the finals would be held next month. Neji and Naruto would fight in the first match with Gaara and Sasuke going at it next. Temari would be facing Shikamaru but after the third fight which is Shino against Kankuro. The fifth would be Tenten and Haku. After being informed everyone marched out and went their separate ways. Haku went off to learn more ice techniques, while Tenten and Naruto went elsewhere. The cute couple were both at a store, shopping after some lingueri. Ten-chan, why am I here with you? I don't like to be around such arousing sights. Naruto said, hating having to give his time of training for clothes shopping with his girlfriend. Oh come on, Naruto-kun. I would always thought you'd be the one who would love to see me in such clothes. Tenten said, slowly slinking her fingers up his chin. Naruto began to blush, already falling under the spell of his lovely girlfriend. I may just let you pick out some stuff, and let you put it on me. Naruto began to have blood drip a little down his nose. He stuttered, as Tenten finally won him over. Then that's that, she said, pulling him inside. As he grabbed a basket to put the stuff in, she shook her head. That won't do. Get a bigger one, she asked, and he did. As she went to get some stuff, he looked around and saw he was being watched, by an Abasan taking over as the counter lady. Could you hurry it along? That old bitch thinks I'm a hentai, he said, turning his head away from the Abasan. Hurt, she left and went in the back. Oh, you're such a baby. You don't want me running around in tight clothes that will rip off me, right? She said, as Naruto blushed while watching. She then picks out some underwear, along with other things I shouldn't mention. After all, I would sound like a pervert, now wouldn't I? Speaking of which, they weren't the only ones buying female unmentionables. Naruto was the first to notice, but there was a white-haired man right there holding a very large bra, able to hold a forbidden cup. Oi, Kasama. Hey, Lek, what the hell are you doing? Naruto yelled, looking at the old man before him. Said Gigi turned around to look at Naruto. Hey, Gaki, you are too damn young to tell. He freezes when he looks at him, noticing how much Naruto looks like someone. Arashi. No, wait, he's dead. Then, is he? To tell what? I bet I get more than you would if we were the same age. He yelled, bringing the man out of his stupor. Hey, kid, I want you to come with me somewhere. He then grabs Naruto, and teleports elsewhere. Oh, Naru-kun, I found this sexy thing I think you would like to. She turns around to show Naruto a see-through thong, but finds he is gone. Thinking he ditched her, she grows angry. That bastard. I'll kick him where it hurts. Elsewhere, Naruto and the old man came to a hot springs. Hey, Lek, where am I? Why did you take me out of there? Naruto asked, pushing him off his shoulder. Ten-chan's gonna kill me if she finds I left her. I was thinking of training you, he said, smirking somewhat weirdly. You should be honored, for I am known as Jiraiya, Toad Hermit of Konoha. He goes into a Japanese seinen dance, and ends with his hand facing out. Oh, I heard of you. You're one of those Densetsu no Sanin, or was it Denketsu? Oh well, why do you wish to train me? Naruto asked, completely forgetting about Tenten. Hey, well it's funny you should ask that. Out of all the students I've trained, 3 actually, only 1 became my personal apprentice. Oh, he became such a fine ninja, to gain so many names back when he was alive, Yondaime Hokage, yellow flash of Konoha. Jiraiya began, as Naruto was growing wider eyes. You trained the Yondaime. That would explain some of his strength, but why would you pick me out of anyone else, someone who makes fun of you for being a pervert? Naruto states, glaring towards Jiraiya with little convincing. The old man smiled. Something I think I should do as a parting gift to him, seeing as training my student's son would be the perfect way to make it up to him. He said, freezing Naruto to the core. Son. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.